Newsfirst, Newsline with Faraz Shaukat Ali.
Good evening and welcome to a special edition of Newsline on TV1. Your host for tonight, I'm Shehan Ranatunga, sitting in for Faraz Shaukat Ali. We are right now at the University of Kelaniya as the International Conference on Developmentalism and Well-being of South Asian Societies is underway, and we have a very special panel for you, our audience, this evening. Joining me tonight, we have Dr. Mrunalini Fadnavis, who is the Vice Chancellor of the University of Solapur in Maharashtra, India. We also have Dr. Jyotiram More, who is the Secretary of the Maharashtra Bhugola Shastra Parishad. And we also have Dr. Praveen Saptarshi, who is the Chairman of the Pangaea Geographical Association. Welcome to the program. If I may first of all talk to Dr. Fadnavis, I would like to ask you, because this is perhaps your first time on our network, we'd like to ask you, is this your first visit to Sri Lanka?
No, I am visiting second time.
Your second visit. And if you could just tell us slightly, what are your impressions since your previous visit?
Yeah, I visited for a conference that is based on the economic issues of again SAARC region. That's something 14-15 years back. And that time I have seen that various issues which is related to the education system. We always used to say that Sri Lanka is much ahead for the education. They have tried their best to reach out to each and every person for the education as a very important tool for development. And this missing women concept has also been taken well in this area. That time, that impression was with me. And when I'm now this time in 23, I'm here, I think the education system is still like in an improving stage, but other issues which is related to the development of economy as such, I think there are some setbacks, what we have heard, and I think it can improve definitely. But in terms of development of infrastructure, road development and other issues also like tourism, they are also in the gaining side, what I feel.
Well, lots of Sri Lankans will be very happy with what you just said to hear that there has been improvement, although we are currently in the midst of a crisis, but certainly Sri Lanka is working on developing further. Now, if I can kindly speak to Dr. Saptarshi. Doctor, what about you? Is this your first visit to Sri Lanka?
No, this is my third visit to Sri Lanka.
Okay.
Some in 10-15 years back, I had been here to attend the conference on organized by management schools of SAARC countries, and I presented there on sustainability management and its importance for the industrial people, industrial management. Then I came to conceptualize this conference 6 months back, and now I am here to see the conference, and that's a really good response we received from India, Bangladesh, Nepal, Sri Lanka, and only thing is that some Pakistan persons are missing because 2-3 persons from Peshawar would have come here, but maybe some visa problem or something like that. And another thing is that the media people have painted the picture of Sri Lanka as if there is something unrest. But here I told them that it is quite cool, and definitely everything is in place and no riots, no nothing. The only thing is that economy is not in a correct direction, but that can be taken care by your people. So that's why I promoted this, or I made the people from my country to come here, and more than 65 persons have attended the conference, including Honorable Vice Chancellor. Personally, she has attended the concert.
Well, thank you very much for certainly visiting Sri Lanka as many times as you have done, and for the work that you're doing here.
Yeah.
If we can now talk to Dr. More. Doctor, what about you? This is your first time in Sri Lanka?
Yes, this is my first visit to Sri Lanka, but I saw Sri Lanka on TV channel and internet also. I am familiar with Sri Lanka because of many friends in Sri Lanka, but I saw the Sri Lanka in struggle. So I thought, why not we are going to someone international conference to each other, and 2-3 organizations we have collected and we have decided, why these events have come now.
Excellent. Thank you, Doctor. We are in a crisis, as has been mentioned a number of times now already on this program. Sri Lanka is currently facing a crisis. So my next question to the panelists is, what is developmentalism? And I ask this question because our viewers may not necessarily understand the technicalities behind developmentalism. They understand development, and they certainly want development in Sri Lanka. But what is developmentalism? Why is it that it warrants a conference to be held in a setting such as this? If I can first get the opinions of Dr. Fadnavis in this regard?
Sure. Thank you for this question. And this is a big issue, that how to understand the development. Development is a vast word and vast, meaning in that particular word. And when our conference is focusing on developmentalism and well-being, it means that this development issue has lot of inputs which is in that. One is, of course, education. Second is, you can say, the health is the important parameter. Then third is about the settlement of the youth, because the employability, then employment, even the self-employment, these are the issues which we have to take care. If that is coming up, or rather, you can say the focus is on that part or the area, the settlement of the youth is always an issue before the development. And then comes income, so the per capita income, national income, these are the issues, or these are the parameters which has been discussed from many years. In fact, when there was a barter system, it is also like that, what type of you can say the exchange you can have with a better flow of comfort with the buyer and seller. From that era to when the money has been now introduced and different type of currencies has been introduced, only thing is that if your currency level or the exchange rate is down, and some developed countries has been dominating to you, that is again the part of the international scenario where really the development means at the international level. But other parameters which is close to the local and the national needs are basically those. As well as after Corona, we all can feel that health is the most important part, because without that nobody can say that we can work, or the you can say the per person working hour, how much contributing to the development of that particular country, it matters. And the well-being word is also has its own importance, because the good human capital or the good human development system has to be very consciously made, right from the schooling, right from the, or you can say the your family system, then schooling, then going to the college level, and then become a very important human resource for your country. So if it is we are taking care of all these things, definitely the development process will go through it. And meaning of development, it's a continuous process. You cannot say that this parameter is covered, now we are developed. No, it's not like that. Even like the countries, those who are very much developed, they are also facing recession this time. So some problem in their development we can see. But in considering our country, India, or like other similar countries, those who can able to understand that yes, some facilities necessary for the day-to-day comfort zone for the common man. So considering the common man as an important tool, that is the most important part for the developmental activities. How the last person is happy, that is the meaning of well-being which we have taken with this, and the development roots of the development can reach to that person if it is in the form of getting a good, you can say, education, housing, even you can say the better facilities for health, as well as the better studies, even the comfort zone for expression of his or her views. That is also the part of development. So it's a very vast meaning. But yes, for your country, I can say, if this has been restricted somewhere, if you cannot develop with all these parameters, that has to be taken care. And if it has been taken care, definitely the people force with a positive attitude, they can be very resourceful for the development of any country.
Thank you, Dr. Fadnavis. If I can pose my next question to Dr. Saptarshi. Dr. Fadnavis just now mentioned something. She said if you take care of these basic parameters, then development will happen. Do you agree with this?
Yeah, means this means that development can have two types of developments can be possible. One is exclusive for certain number of people, apex of the triangle, population triangle. And another one is the addressing the issues of bottom of pyramid, means the poor people. So in Sri Lanka, the crises have been cropped up because you chose the exclusive development for last 15 years. We in India also have chosen the same thing, but India is big country, so that crisis will come after 10 more years. Here the crisis has come immediately, and such kind of development, once you start ignoring poor section of people, it cannot be such sustainable development. Number one. Number two, this kind of development is used for propaganda, and people who are at the apex try to keep their chairs intact by doing such developmental things, and for that we call it as developmentalism. Propaganda is more, and the, for example, investment, you see the investment employment ratio. If it is not proper, then that development will not distribute the money amongst the society. Society will not become rich. Some people will become rich. So that is exclusive development. And that's why what Madam has suggested, that you have to look into the bottom of pyramid, and Mahatma Gandhi was of the opinion that development is, in the real sense of development, if you try to develop the poorest of poor.
Thank you, Dr. Saptarshi. Before we cross over to a break, I must get the opinion of Dr. More on this matter. In fact, Doctor, why don't you tell us what to you developmentalism is, and particularly this word well-being?
Every persons have view regarding development. Development. What is meant by development? Development means to not only increase building, increase flyovers and increase aeroplanes and many things. But I says that we are teaching how to earn money for students. Every students have, but we not teach to how to live in your life. Means development is very easy because of, but living is very important for each and every persons. For one example is that one 12-year student have playing mobile, and her mother have directly catch mobile, and that boy have attacked his mummy, and mummy is dead now. This is serious matter. So, what is meant by development? Development means the non-violences, humanities, and interaction with many persons. This is the development. These are my views.
Excellent, thank you. We'll now cross over to a short break as we take a look at tonight's headlines, but we'll be right back. Don't go anywhere.
Newsfirst Newsline with Faraz Shaukat Ali.
Motorcycle gunmen killed 2 people an hour apart. Honour's position on Nimal Amarasinghe's death. Opposition leader and MPs meet Speaker and request to summon Finance Secretary to Parliament to inquire why funds were not released for the local government election. Trade unions to launch joint protest on the 1st of March. National Contributory Pension Fund for Public Sector, 8% from the basic salary to be credited to the fund. Newsfirst wins ABHAT Global Award for Humanitarian Response in Tokyo.
Congratulations.
Newsfirst Newsline with Faraz Shaukat Ali.
Good evening and welcome back to this special edition of Newsline. I'm Shehan Ranatunga sitting in for Faraz Shaukat Ali. As we've already started off this show, you've met our panel today of very distinguished educationalists who are visiting Sri Lanka. Let's once again start off with Dr. Fadnavis, Vice Chancellor. Madam, if you could kindly tell us about the program that was conducted in Sri Lanka. You all are here on a special visit. Please tell us about that particular program.
After Corona, I think this is the welcoming fact that offline conference is on the board at this Kelania University. So we all came here just to have a one-to-one deliberation discussion, because that makes sense, because a lot of things which is happening in 2 countries, in India as well as in Sri Lanka, that can be, the views can be exchanged, or some knowledge gaining is also possible. So definitely this conferencing is going very well. And as you have seen, sir is also working from last 6 months for this conference, and we were in touch with different stakeholders, right from Maharashtra, even outside Maharashtra in India. And they have also tried to contact people from the SAARC region. Most of them are really interested, and some of them are present over here. So it has given a good, thoughtful process for this particular thing, which is we are discussing in this 2-3 days long discussion. So I'm very happy to be the part of this, because meeting with people, interaction, understanding each other. Otherwise, sitting at very, you can say, the long distance, we can only have TV channel where if they are saying yes, we have to say yes. Nothing we can do, but this is the first-hand information we are getting. So that is the beauty of any conference which we are enjoying over here. So it is going very well.
Excellent. Dr. Saptarshi, what about you? Would you say mission accomplished?
Yeah, definitely, definitely. No, I will just explain one thing. Online conferences are just like traveling by air. So you cannot say hi to anybody, no bye-bye to anybody. So here, when offline conference is just a village road walking, making hi to everybody, saying okay, then this is the good thing. So roads are not just for, the routes are not just for the walk, just completing travel. It is just like a road plaza. Many marriages happen on the road, right? So my marriage is on the road. So in this way, we are just losing this kind of beauty of road. We are just putting flyovers in the metro cities, and we say that it is development. And that's why I want my colleagues to come personally here and visit many people and find out the ways and means to achieve the development in real sense of the term. So in that case, our conference could be a great success, because we have also developed more interaction with SLAG, that is Sri Lankan Association of Geographers. So that has agreed to have the another organization like South Asian Geographers Association, SAGA. The Pune chapter president will be Professor D.P. Singh from Patna. Here, maybe Dharmasri. They said that we will decide in the meeting, general body meeting. So, in Pakistan also, some person from Peshawar University will take the initiative for Pakistan chapter. Then my friend Vice Chancellor Ahmad from Bangladesh, he will be leading the Bangladesh chapter. So in this way, we are trying to build this saga, and then slowly we can just discuss on the environmental issues, the developmental issues, and we will have the conferences in each country, because there are so many common problems in all the South Asian countries, and cause is also common. Cause is common means we are being exploited by developed nations or multinationals from the developed countries. Don't think that China and Russia are communist and that's why they are not doing exploitation. No, they are also doing exploitation, and we should have courage to say like this. We should develop, the academicians should develop, because we are not interested who is in the government. We are interested in people and well-being of people, and we want that awareness amongst the bottom of pyramid should be improved, and I think that this is the role of academicians. If this kind of takeaway is from this conference for many academicians from Sri Lanka and India and Pakistan, Bangladesh, then I think that is the great success of the conference.
Thank you, Dr. Saptarshi. Dr. More, Dr. Saptarshi talked about bringing together different countries for the common good of this region. Please tell us what to you is the vision, the goal of this program.
I learned this visit from many things. One is important. This is I saw Sri Lankan situation on TV channel, but now really yesterday we came here and we saw the airport, we saw the bridge, we saw the expressway, and that we talk. Many people have talking good for nation, and my view is that the development is very important, and many countries means talented persons have come get together and thinking another and another. Definitely we will give some many good things to common peoples also. And one also important thing is that for example, now many problems in front of us, means climate change, and then lot of problems are here, but that problems will decrease definitely because of that talented persons have come together and take decisions also.
Okay, thank you, Dr. More. Dr. Fadnavis, now we're going to step out a moment. We're going to step out to the world, the situation that's happening globally. And we know that there's a growing economic crisis. We know that the situation in Ukraine doesn't seem to be getting better. On Friday the 24th, it marked a year since the war broke out in Ukraine, and the ripple effects are being felt worldwide. Now, in that kind of a context, what place does developmentalism have?
In my opinion, we are peace lovers. I will say the entire South Asian countries are into it, because we never want to go for like this war type of thing, which is the responsible for destruction of very innocent people. So the message is very clear for like Ukraine, as you said, that that should be stopped immediately. And I think whatever the achievement those countries must have done, that will definitely take a long time for the improvement, as we have also seen right from the Second World War, and we have also faced the Kargil War and various things. So things are not that easy after the war, and it is still having, you know, very bad shape in Ukraine. So that is not good, and messages should be thrown to those societies, as well as some international organization can intervene for a better cause of the humanity, that it should be stopped immediately. And when we consider about the incremental part of the growth or development, we are saying, because again in development, growth word is also there. So that is the hazardous things for all this. If we are wishing for a good society, for the well-being and all that, war cannot be, you can say, we cannot say that it's a good thing. Rather, it's very dangerous, hazardous things, and it must be stopped. That is one. And second issue, I will say that as a peace-loving country, the messages also will not work. So it should also, like considering the debates and the discussions with the people, those who are really putting their all the violence in for those countries, that is not only the damaging that country, that is also the part of our own system, because they are also human. That is also the part of the earth. So we cannot say that is an isolation they will face, they will see whatever is happening. No, as a humanity or as a culture of our system, maybe you can say as a human, you can say the capital development. For that we need to tell them to stop all these things for the betterment of the society. For the qualitative development, it is more harmful. The quantity, of course, it will take its own time, but the quality will more deteriorate in such a situation. So I think spiritually also we can also give some messages, and with the help of discussion, but it should be in a continuous process, and some, you know, forceful activities for at least understanding that you should stop all these things. I think that will be good for the global level. That is must.
Thank you, Doctor. Dr. Saptarshi, you mentioned that exploitation is an issue. Now, we just touched on Ukraine, and Dr. Fadnavis mentioned that despite all that is happening in the Ukraine, there's a need for an international response, a certain organization to step in and to take heart or to take serious action where this is concerned. But how do you balance that with the business of exploitation, particularly when it comes to the South Asian societies?
Yes, we can do it. Number one, this war between Ukraine and Russia. So any war, in any war, the first casualty is truth. We don't know the truth. Everybody is saying something like that. So that's why I remember our first Prime Minister, Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru, has adopted geopolitically, strategically a good policy, and that was non-alignment movement. Non-aligned movement. And this non-aligned movement was also supported by all SAARC countries, even third world countries. Means we are trying to keep Russia and America equidistant.
Okay.
We can take help, we can do favor for them, favor for both in equal manner. So this has been useful, this was certainly useful for developing the poor countries. Then, as Madam has suggested, that we are peace lovers. Our father of nation is Mahatma Gandhi, and do you know that Mahatma Gandhi stayed in Sri Lanka also. He had got good following. I have a map showing that where Mahatma Gandhi has visited in Sri Lanka. Anyway, so we believe in truth and peace. So that's why you just imagine all SAARC countries come together and decided not to fight each other. What would be our power? Firing power, the military power, everything. And each and every country can reduce their defense expenditure by half. If you just see that our defense expenditure is reduced by half in Sri Lanka, in India, in Pakistan, then the Pakistan can develop agriculturally better, and this India, Sri Lanka. So we will provide the food security to all over the world. These three countries can definitely do this. But this should not happen is the conspiracy of developed nation, because it will stop their exploitation. Exploitation of resources, so we can also discuss this Gunnar Myrdal's theory, backwash theory. So developed countries built relationship with underdeveloped countries just to take the resources from them. So in colonial period, actual resources were taken. The precious stones were taken by Britishers from Sri Lanka. Now it is not necessary. You can just allow the global capital to enter in Sri Lanka, and Sri Lanka loses its sovereignty. One part of Sri Lanka is you cannot visit as a citizen of Sri Lanka. You have to pay $20. If Indian person wants to come here, he has to convert his rupees in dollars, and dollars are to be converted into Sri Lankan rupees. Why dollar is in between you and me? This is exploitation. And the price rise is nothing but a new type of taxes for supporting this war-like situation. So war is not you can say because of war is not the cause for price rise. In economics it may be correct, but I would say that this is the event which is created to empty the public pockets. And this is eye-opener. And that's why we have to understand the value of violence, value of our own currency, value of our own people.
Thank you, Dr. Saptasi. Your opinions are certainly very strong, and I'm sure there's a lot there's a lot of viewers who watch this program who will certainly want to talk to you separately and to get more on your insights, because I'm sure we can dig deep politically also, but we will not go there today. And also we're running out of time. But I must ask you, Dr. More, prior to the show, we mentioned that you also understand the rural background. And Sri Lanka, particularly rural communities in Sri Lanka, are feeling this crisis very badly. Do you have anything that you'd like to say?
Valley between developed countries and poorer countries, these are increased day by day. But our opinion is that how to decrease that valley, and this is the answer of that your questions also. Means poor people of Sri Lankan poor people, we can develop the many things of that. Means in our Indian new education policies adopted this year, and in this new education policies have many of the things are included. And we have some means last 40 years we have changed, and these types of changing in Sri Lanka, definitely that people will be developed.
Outstanding. And also, Dr. More, when you consider what's happening in this part of the world, in the South Asian region, do you think that the future is bright? Do you believe that the future for the South Asian region is going to be one where people will be able to flourish, people will be able to grow and develop?
It means that each and every persons have very important for nation. And per capita income means development is per capita income is more, that country is developed. But I think that social well-being is very important for each and every person and his family also. So these types of education we can adopt it, we can give, and definitely the people will reach, the people will thinking good, and various which types of thinking is definitely good.
Excellent. Thank you, Dr. More. Actually, unfortunately run out of time for tonight's program. Once again, we thank Dr. Fadnavis, the Vice Chancellor of the University of Solapur, Maharashtra, India. We thank Dr. Saptarshi, who is the Chairman of the Pangaea Geographical Association, and we thank Dr. More, who is the Secretary of the Maharashtra Bhugola Shastra Parishad, for being on this program tonight. We thank you for sharing your wisdom and your knowledge for our viewers who are certainly having their own challenges, viewers who are having questions posed at them on a daily basis, but certainly we wish you, our viewers, all the very best as Sri Lanka continues to traverse this difficult period. With that, we wish you good night. Thank you for watching, and God bless.